Welcome, everyone. Just keep doing what you're doing. Follow the leaders here. Just say hello and tell us where you're from. And give me about 1 minute. All right, you guys. Okay, Social Security number. Sweet. Yes, I got one. That looks kind of fishy though. 1, 2, 3, 4. So at least someone saw my post there. So, hey, I do want to welcome everyone. I'll go big for a second here so you can kind of see. You won't see this the whole time. So, well, a little bit, I mean. So, I want to welcome everyone. This is class 3 tonight. During the middle of the pandemic, we are learning how to become a prepper. If this is over your head. You know, if you do the steps, you'll be fine. If this is like, I've done this, I've been there. Thanks for joining us anyway. So I'm going to go through. I have some slides. You guys can keep putting where you're from and your social security number. And if someone will record them, I don't have time. And guys, I do apologize. Sometimes as I'm teaching, I literally don't read the comments sometimes. And it's just hard to do both. I'm a one-man show. I can only do so much, but I'm going to get back to the slides here. That way you don't have to see me. I'm going to go through a few of these. Again, some of them are repetitive. I'm sorry. Some people are here for the first time. And I'm going to go through this next one very quickly. You guys know I really don't like this slide, but I feel like I've been told I need to have it. So anyway, who am I? My name is Forrest Garvin. I'm former Air Force Special Operations, JSOC Sol 2. Sol 2, everyone asked me about that. That means Special Operations Low Level, and 2 is night. So I was on a C-130 assigned to the 17th Air Wing of MAC at Pope Air Force Base, and really loved it. Then I was at Bank of America, I think their second web person they hired in the early 90s and became their webmaster, and did that for years. And then since because of Y2K, not because of Bank of America, I wasn't worried about Bank of America crashing, but I was worried about some other things. I became, since then, a survival instructor, NRA instructor. I've got my ham general license. I'm an apprentice Krav Maga instructor. I speak around the United States. I teach a lot of classes. I do a radio and a podcast. I've written a book called The Case for Christian Preparedness. It's a #1 bestseller. It really was on certain categories on Amazon, but not nothing big. But I'm the founder of Preparedness, and I'm also the CEO of Sun Ovens International. So this is the book I wrote. It's not I'm going to lean over. Can everyone hear me? Let me look, see if I'm on there. Yeah. Okay. So there's Cowboy from Raleigh just entered in. Robert Bradyatsky wrote a book. He's in the house. He's an author. So here's the book that I have released. It's not a big, thick book. It's a tiny one. It's like 80 pages or so. Just kind of some thoughts that I had about Christian and what the Bible says about being prepared. So I went through that. It's on Amazon, Kindle, Audible. The guy that read that, I really like him. I met him reading this book, and we're working possibly on another project, maybe. I can't tell all my secrets, but anyway, it's on Amazon. Yep. So I am the CEO of Sun Ovens International. Sun Ovens International is a company that is changing the world. We don't use any energy whatsoever from the globe of the of the planet. We use the sun. We cook food 375 to 400 degrees. Some of the best food you'll ever have. Remember, 1/3 of the world still uses coal or wood to cook their food. And in the continent of Africa, the leading cause of death for 7-year-olds and under is the smoke inhalation. It causes respiratory infection because the mothers will have the baby strapped to them or in the hut as they're cooking. This thing saves lives. I've said this many times. If you don't have a sun oven, you're going to die. I can't think of a better marketing campaign than that. They won't let me say that to our clients or our marketing with Sun Oven, but I say that, and I hope you know I'm kidding, but it's at sunoven.com. We are selling these things like crazy right now, which is really amazing, really awesome. We do, I am supported, and I do this. I do this for free, but we have all kinds of costs. Even the software I'm using tonight costs money. It's called StreamYard. You can look it up. Not a great deal, but we have a mailing list. We have meetups. We just had to add another account for meetups. So I think we have close to 70 meetups in the United States. You can, that's over like $5,000 or $6,000 a year just in running the meetups. But we do have cost, and we do have a basic membership. Everyone should join the basic, absolutely free. Then we have a premium, which is kind of support. And thank goodness my premium members, I love them, because this class is what my premium members are supposed to get. But because of where we are today with everything going on, I've literally opened up everything that I would be doing for my premium members. I'm doing for everyone. So you can take advantage of it, and great you are. If you want to say thank you, we have a premium. It's $40 a year. You do get Franklin Horton. You get my book, Arthur Bradley, Glenn Tate, and Robert Branietsky, which is in the chat room right now. You get their one of their books to download for free, and you get some other things. So just, support us. Anyway, that's enough said. So I do a PrepperNet live on Sunday nights. We are not going to have it this Sunday night. It's Easter. Not going to happen. You're going to have to spend time with your family. So, you don't have to, but I would encourage you. It's Easter. Easter is not a bunny rabbit. It's the day that my Savior came out of the grave. So let's go to the next slide. Okay. I do have to say this. I did one last Sunday night. I got so many comments on this, and I thought it was mediocre, but I did one on working from home when it comes to internet privacy and security. I went through a lot of different software and different things that you need to do to keep your privacy and security from not only corporations, not only government, somewhat government, but also your employer. They got you probably using software that they mandate you to use, that they can turn the camera on and see you working. Then there's Zoom. The Zoom craze is going crazy. You got to use it properly, or you can be hacked. People can see your meetings. There's all kinds of things. And I go through a lot of that. It's on this YouTube channel, and you can go and watch it. It's free of charge. Again, usually this would be for my premium members only, but because of what's going on, I just felt that I should open this up to everyone. And my premium members, I've gotten unbelievable feedback saying, hey, perfect. We love it. Our family and friends are watching. So it's benefiting everyone right now. So with that said, so the way I had this, because I don't have my other monitor here, and so I can't really see the next slide until I go there, which is driving me nuts. But that'll be solved. So I want a little humor. This is one of the funniest things. I think the more you watch it too, the funnier it gets. It's one of the funniest videos I have seen in a long time. And you know what? If you guys don't think it's funny, and we need some humor, laughter is the best medicine. And I love this. So I hope this is as funny to you as it is to me. I've shown this to every one of my friends at least 5 times. So.
Because of coronavirus, you are going to be quarantined, but you have a choice. Do you A, quarantine with your wife and child, or B?
Okay, one more time.
Because of coronavirus, you are going to be quarantined, but you have a choice. Do you A, quarantine with your wife and child, or B?
B.
Sorry, guys. I just think that's hilarious. I really think it's funny. And you know what? As long as I'm laughing. So I hope you guys think that's kind of funny. I love his reaction. It was perfect. So B. And he's just that's hilarious. Okay. We are, another thing I want to address is I counted up 14 emails asking me if my retreat was really in Miami, Florida. And I'm not kidding. They have it is. I'm dead, not serious. Why would someone have a retreat in Florida? Anyway, but it is not. That was I say that in jest, I guess. So it's just. But so when I say that, just know that I'm kidding. You don't need to know where my retreat is. It might be underneath my house. I don't know. It's not. Anyway, let's see what's going on in the chat room. I see Cowboys in the house. Elizabeth's in the house. Gary Stone is in the house. Some good people in there. If you guys got questions while I'm talking, y'all can probably ask some of them. They are geniuses. So let's get moving. So, yep. Okay, here we go. So, Intro to Preparedness, a step-by-step plan, class 3. So, the way we've done this, you can see we've already gone through class 1 and 2. And we're going through 3. So, in the book that I've written that has not been published yet, I cover month 1 and 2, month 3 and 4 in chapters, and then 5 and 6. So this is 5 and 6. So this gets us halfway through the year. You can break this down in weeks, or you can just put it kind of in order. I went through myself and put together for an entire year with 18 years of knowledge at this time. What things should I bought and when should I bought them? What skills should I have obtained or gained or obtained, whatever the hell you want to announce it. And then what things mindset could I handle as I'm going through this to kind of get in the mode for self-sufficiency, defending my family, all this stuff. And I put it down on a calendar, and then I went to other people and we moved a few things, we talked through it, and this is what we came up with. You might not agree with it, and I'm okay with that. I think at the end has become a better prepared person. And that's what the goal is. So I'm going to go through 6 months, the 12 months in 6 online live classes. And then 1 is going to be question and answering. So last week we did the 20-gallon gas cans, and I threw out the NATO cans, and apparently they're sold out. Imagine that. All because of me. I'm totally joking there. No, but there are some green. They were around $40 to $60. The actual NATO cans are in the hundreds of dollars. So these are kind of China knockoffs, but they've been working great for 4 people that I know. They've had gas in there for one's had gas in there for almost over 2.5 years with no problems whatsoever. So we went through this list, and then you got to have gas. I mean, you need to always have gas and you need to always keep your car full too, but you need to have some gas in case you need to go extra distance. The fuel stabilizer, some food, a rocket stove, a gun. You got to have gun ammo. And these are kind of the things on the first night. Actually, in the Survival Medicine Handbook and Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy were actually in the class last week. So that was pretty cool. So that's last week. Training, you're prepping for your bob. On the first class, we learned bob is actually a bug out bag. You need to shoot some rounds, and it's a garden. I don't know where you guys live, but I live in the Southeast, and today was like 80 degrees. The sun was out. Had nice thunderstorms last night. Great time to plant a garden and get your garden. Matter of fact, I had 3 people tell me, oh, great time for rain because they just planted a lot of their garden. Use a rocket stove or some type of a stove to cook outside because it's different than cooking on your stove. Get your carry and conceal class. Now, you can take the class. Now, Dave Stutz, which is Wolffire, whatever. I think this is the name of his company, but he's still teaching carry and conceal classes. A lot of counties like mine, you can't apply for your carry and conceal right now because they're afraid of the fingerprinting thing, and they have to get real close. But that'll come back around. But go ahead and you can take the class, and then the physical fitness plan that we're all pumping. So that was training. Mindset was read 1 year after. Started getting your news from alternate news sources like Zero Hedge, Drudge Report. Watch The Twilight Zone, and then The Shelter. Dude, that's a good one. Black and white one. Watch the Prepper movie. One guy literally texted me while he was watching it and said he didn't know if it was some of this were a joke and he was supposed to laugh, or it was just that cheesy. And it is kind of cheesy, but there's some things in there that make you think. And then read one of the best, great, books when it comes to preparedness, and is Patriots by Rawls. So, and then group, I told you, hey, ask someone to be in your group, can't be in your household. So we went through that. So again, we're going to divide this up in things you need to purchase. This is the third class. So things you need to purchase: training, mindset, and groups. Let me check the chat room over here. No one has died. Everyone seems to be in here. Get some Chinese cans. Fill them 3 years, no problem. So Robert, my author that wrote a novel about the very thing that's going on, except it's going on in his book. It goes on in my neighborhood, in my hospital, which really kind of close to home. And Robert, you can. I don't mind if you link your books in there, Robert. You're a great person. I did not say that. I said great people. Elizabeth's in there. So, but Robert's real. So when the bullet hits someone's leg, you follow the path of the bullet while you're reading them. So anyway, so let's get started here. I need to put Robert's books in here. Sorry, Robert, I need to. Okay, first thing you need to do to purchase is some rice. 200 pounds of rice. The world lives on rice and beans, mostly rice. I am not kidding you. People around the world eat rice, and you can store rice for 25 years. I have a 50-pound bag right behind me. Really, there is one right behind me. It's 50 pounds. It cost me $15 for that bag of rice. $15 for a 50-pound bag of rice. So that means if you were to buy 200 pounds, do the math. That's like not a lot of money. And 200 pounds is a lot of food. So 200 pounds of rice. And guess what? 200 pounds of beans. I saw people talking about beans in the chat room. You can get some other things, but we're going to start right now with beans and rice. Beans and rice. There's protein. You can go all what am I going to say? Yuppie on me. Is it yuppie? Preppy? I don't know. You can get the non-bleached rice. I wouldn't go with brown rice. Brown rice has oil in it and it will go kind of bad on you. I mean, if you're only going to store it for a year, maybe 2 years, brown rice is fine, but you don't want to. The word is, I don't know if this is fact, but everyone says it, that brown rice over time will go bad. But white rice you can store forever. So, well, maybe forever. So anyway, 200 pounds of beans, 200 pounds of rice, and then a little bit later we're gonna share what we need to do with that. Okay, 2 Baofeng radios. You need 2. The saying is 1 is none and 2 is 1, because you're going to break one for sure. But what you do, this is your introduction into ham radio. You got to have communications. And so the cheapest way to get in the community, because at this point, you don't know anything about ham radios or maybe radios, but even having a Baofeng radio, learning how to program it through the computer, learning to listen to people on repeaters or near you, gives you some practical experience of doing that. Understanding how to program one, because a lot of repeaters, you have to program one channel to transmit to the repeater, but you actually receive on another frequency. And it's kind of done automatically within the software, and learning how that works and go and programming it and figuring out how to do that in your local area. That's some good information. And so just having these, you learn. Technically, you can't really transmit with these unless you have a license. But these radios can do amazing things, and they're dirt cheap. They're literally dirt. There's dirt that costs more than these radios. I think should be, because they're cheap. They're like $30 a piece. Some of them, if you buy in bulk, they're $20 a piece, and so that's dirt cheap. So I will say dirt cheap. So some radios. And then later we'll talk about ham stuff. We'll get into more technical later. A galvanized trash can. Now, in the military, galvanized trash cans were for all the cigarette butts, but that's not what we're going to use these for. You need a galvanized trash can. Does anyone, let me see your hands, if you know why we need a galvanized trash can. I'm sure a lot of you guys will go, yes. And it is because we want to protect our equipment. We want to protect the radios. We want to protect a few other things and put in this galvanized trash can. Again, we're preparing for everything, a little bit for everything. And so EMP or solar flare, you need a galvanized trash can. And you know what? It's part of, what's the word I'm thinking about? Your initiation to becoming a prepper is getting a galvanized trash can. You cannot get to prepper 102 without having a galvanized trash can. You can't. No one will sign you off. So you got to have one. And then you got to learn how to make it an EMP proof device. It's mandatory. And it just is. And we call that a Faraday cage is what we're making from that. So yes, it's just an initiation. It's kind of an achievement you got to pass. So a galvanized trash can. So once you buy that and you go, what the heck's an EMP or a CME? You know what? I cover things and then you take notes maybe. Again, all this is going to be in a download. And you go, what? And I think I covered this in the handout, a CME and an EMP. So you can go, oh, that's what he said. Then you can look it up on YouTube University and you can become smart. Okay, next is some Interlope AA batteries. Now, for me and my house, we only use, I'll say 2 size batteries. That's it. We do not do 9-volt batteries. We do not do D. We do not do C. We just do 2 batteries. I can't think of anything unless it's my smoke detector, which I can't do anything about that. My carbon, I think it is AA. I'm pretty sure it is. So we don't do any D or C. We do all AA and AAA. Kind of like ammo, you want standards. So instead of buying all of them, you just buy, and believe it or not, they make these little plastic things. You can put AA's or AAA's, and you can make them C batteries or D batteries by putting AA's. It's amazing little thing device, but these are the best batteries on the market when it comes to recharging. Are there some that are a little bit better? Maybe, but these have the name. These have been selling for years. They're not very cheap, but I actually have links to a charger and to the A and the AAA batteries, your flashlight, your night vision goggles. I mean, there are a ton of things that will use these. Oh, even your Baofeng radio has an attachment you can get for like $7, and you can actually do AA or AAA batteries and do your radio in case you can't charge it. So make your battery standard. You want to do rechargeable as much as you can, because we're going to be able to recharge them later. Ooh, maybe with some solar. So Interlope batteries. I hope everyone is paying attention here. Everyone seems to be going on. Yes, and great batteries. That's what I need to hear. Okay, next is some cash. And you know what? I'm dirt poor. You may be dirt poor, so we're only going to do $100. So you need about $70 in $5 bills. And now, you remember the Bob, the bug out bag? this kind of goes right in line with that. We're building up to that now. $70 and $5 bills and about $30 and $1 bills. So we're going to start with some small denominations and try to, I mean, no one carries $31 bills around. But if you were walking down the street and you're in desperate need of water, and let's just say the grid's down, you wanted some water in a bottle, someone may say it's $5. You might pay $10 for a bottle of water, and you'll have some cash to give people. So, and we're going to cover a few other things, but so get some cash. You know what? And I'm going to bring this up right now. It has nothing to do with this class. A lot of my friends have asked me, should we go to get money from the banks for what's going on right now? And I kind of asked them, don't you always have money, cash? And every one of them pretty much said no. I said, well, you should take at least 10% of the money in your bank account, in your checking account, and have it in cash. You should always do that. Just for, so I've got billions of dollars in mine. So around my house and little holes around my yard, I just bury millions of dollars. No, I mean, like have $1,000 or $2,000 in cash, but now we're going to start with $100. You can afford $100 and get it in cash. Okay. Next is a dehydrator. I'm dehydrated right now. Unsweet tea. Okay. Dehydrator. So you need to start looking to preserve food yourself. When you do make your own banana chips, or you do strawberries, because right now in the next few months, people are planting, and June, July, August, September, the crops coming in, you go into the little fruit markets or vegetable stands, and you dehydrate some of the stuff, and it is delicious. And I do a lot of banana trips. I even make jerky in my dehydrator a lot. As a matter of fact, I've made jerky by just going, I mean, this sounds disgusting, but it kind of is, I guess. I've gone and gotten ground meat and put my jerky sauce in there and squeezed it out of this little gun to make little jerky strips. And it wasn't bad. I'll be honest with you. It's not bad. It's not the same as like, deer jerky or some other jerky, but it's not bad. And you can dehydrate that. But let me tell you the ultimate dream and the reason why you need a dehydrator, for this reason only. You take little mini marshmallows, the small ones, you put in hot chocolate, and you just spread them out in your dehydrator, and you dehydrate them, and they are like a chunk of dreamy sugar that are amazing. They're crunchy, and we would love to save some of them, but we never get the opportunity to. And if you've ever had it, it's like little marshmallows. It's like but you need, and I actually I see Elizabeth saying the Excalibur, and that's exactly what I have linked in my, people that do this. We all kind of know the one. And so I have you lost me. Has anyone else lost me? No, I'm still here. Hello. Should be still here. But people know, we all know the same kind of thing. Lucky Charms. Yep. So it sounds like we're all on the same page there. Okay, you're back now. Okay. And Elizabeth, that could be your internet. We know your internet's, or your technology and internet. Something's shaky there. Okay, let's go to the next thing. So the Excalibur, Elizabeth is in the house helping me, and I'm sure other people are too, but she's one of my mods, and she is amazing. She knows, I hope to know as much as she does one day. So next is buckets and lids. Okay, so we got some beans and rice. Now we got to store that, because you're not going to eat that over the next, well, you may, depends on where we go here, but the goal is not to eat that. So we got to store that. And so you store that in buckets, 5-gallon buckets. And I have buckets. I don't have a link to go buy buckets because you can get them free at places like Chick-fil-A has pickle buckets. They have the smell, but you can get them at Firehouse Subs. Sometimes they'll charge you a couple dollars, or you can just go buy brand new ones for $3 plus a lid at Home Depot and Lowe's. But the lids, so you get the regular lids that clamp down, but you also want these other lids called gamma lids. And you screw a piece on, and it allows you to screw the lid on and screw the lid off. And you don't need that for every bucket. A lot of people do, but you don't need it. You only need it in the bucket you're currently using, because we're going to seal the beans and rice in the bucket. So you can open the lid and it doesn't affect the food at all because it's protected. And we're going to, I think that's next. Yeah. So the next thing you need is some oxygen absorbers. But I missed one thing here, guys. And you also need some Mylar bags. And I don't think I have that listed here. So you need some Mylar bags for a 5-gallon bucket. And I think I have this in the documentation, though. See, I got you covered. It's in the PDF. But so you take your bucket, you take this Mylar bag, you fold it, put it in the bucket, fold it down. You put your rice in. For 5-gallon buckets, I think it's 2,000 cc's of oxygen absorbers. You put in a lot of people use hand warmers. I don't like hand warmers, but you can use hand warmers, I guess. I'm not the genius at that. I know that Elemental does the hand warmers. I like oxygen absorbers because I can tell if it's been used or not by the color of it. And I think it's 2,000 per 5-gallon bucket. Then it's like a metal bag. It really is. It's a Mylar metal bag, but it's flimsy. And then you take a 2x4 or something, you iron it, and it closes. It seals. And then a lot of times it will suck a lot of the oxygen out. And then you put the lid on the bucket. You put it in the corner in a temperature control room. It will last 25 plus years and be perfect. So why do you put an oxygen absorber in there? And you do that because every bag of food you get, this is going to get a little disgusting. There might be little bugs in there, and or if the bugs are in there, it could be little eggs of bugs. So what happens when you put these in there, it literally sucks the oxygen out. And if little bugs are in there or little eggs, they die because there's no oxygen and they die. And that preserves them from the bugs eating your rice. That's why you do that. And 25 plus years, I've seen and eaten rice 31 years old in a bucket. Didn't know the difference. I didn't go, you know what? Whatever 31 years old, is that 1989? That's a good year for the rice. No, we didn't say. It was just rice. So anyway, I'm sure you guys are helping out in gamma lids are wonderful. Yep. So next thing, and on my printout, it goes through there. It links to the absorbers. Next is put back cash and silver. And so I already said cash, but now you need, I just don't want you to go get $70 in fives and $30 in ones. I want you to put them back and get some silver. Now I know you have silver from your great grandfather and your dad, but you need to maybe go, and I have silver, but I didn't do a link to anywhere because I didn't feel comfortable doing that. But you can go to eBay and buy what we call junk silver. That was actually one of the terms we went through, junk silver. Junk silver is nothing more than old silver coins. So dimes and quarters, half dollars, and silver and dollars, anything before 1965. So 64 and older have a large quantity of silver in it. And they're worth money. They're worth the silver value more than they are the face value. So you can buy them. You can see people on eBay selling them, or you can go to places and actually buy silver dollars, brand new, uncirculated. And you're like, wait, I don't want to buy uncirculated silver dollars. Wouldn't that be more expensive because they're uncirculated? No. You buy them. I don't know the silver price, $18. It probably the spot pay is somewhere plus or minus $1, which means you're going to pay like $21 because they make money per coin that you buy. So you can buy silver dollars for somewhere. I'm going to say I haven't seen the price in weeks. I'm going to say between $21 and $23, and you buy a lot and you save it, because that's going to be real currency. If the crap hits the fan, if we have a Great Depression like the 20, that's going to be real currency that will hold its value. And that's why you want it. If you're walking down the street and say, hey, I need some water and some food, the guy goes, what do you got? And you go, hey, here's $100 bill. He may go, I don't want that. We start fires with money now. That's not the situation you want to be in. You might want to go, well, I do have this shiny silver dollar. And they go, oh, okay. And they may give you something equal value what they think that is. So you need cash and silver. One of the things I do, and if you want money, you just go ahead and rob me. I don't know. But I have a belt. And this belt I don't think is no longer for sale, but it's Jason Hansen, which is a former CIA agent, and he teach people on escape and evade. And I went through his class to become an instructor. Ooh, I need to put that on my profile. No. And he used to sell a leather belt, and I love the leather. It's a thick leather belt, and inside the belt, you flip it over, it has zipper compartments. And I keep some cash in there in case I need some, or I lose my wallet or something. I keep some money in there. So always keep some cash with you. So we're moving right along. Hope you guys understand and got all that. The next is a manual can opener. And that's important. Imagine all the a lot of the survival food has cans. If you get the big cans, they got, I guess you can take a knife, but once you do that, you can't really store it real well. So a manual can opener, there's many kinds. I got links to the ones you turn and go around the can. But then I have some small ones. They have P38s, which is what I had in the military. And then they have now a P51. And I'm not sure if that's truly military, but they're saying it is. It's bigger than a P38. And I have P38s, but now they have the P51. And I'm like, it is bigger. And I thought, hey, bigger is better. I mean, it's still tiny, and you can get in any can with it, with these things. It's old military style. You need to carry many of them. Matter of fact, I think I linked to 10, and it's like less than $10. I think. I don't know what the price is. I don't know, but I have a link there, and you need them because you're going to need one. You need one in your keychain. You need one in your bug out bag. You need one in every different place that you have storage stuff. You just kind of throw it in there. It's like the multi-tool. You need more than one multi-tool, but you need one great multi-tool that you can go to and rely on. Then you need a backup, and then you need some other ones because yes, you got me. Okay, let's check the chat room again. Multi-tool. Yeah, a multi-tool. A lot of multi-tools actually have them, but if you lose your multi-tool, you could lose some other things. Manual coffee grinder. You guys are putting all kinds of stuff in there. We're getting to that stuff. So don't even own electric. Yeah, we don't own electric can opener either. So I bought 10 P51s. Yep, from Amazon. Okay, let's move along here. That's the things you got to buy. This is a very cheap week, by the way. Last week we had a gun and we had ammo. I'm going to go through the math here really quick. The Excalibur is the most expensive thing on there. Because I think it's around $100, maybe, maybe more than that. But the beans, I guess the $100 is I guess that's $100. Yeah, all this is less than $200 or $300, maybe $400. So it's just cheap. Not like last week, because a Glock, which I said a Glock that shoots a 9mm bullet, 17, 19 or something like that, that's $500. So we're doing good on the cheap side this week. So we covered things you need to purchase. And again, this is in progression. You don't have to look at my timeline. I did it in months. This is month 5 and 6, but just progression. Next is training. Again, I make a statement all the time, and I think it's right. A lot of people, no one's told me it's wrong, but it's right to me, because I say, if you don't have skills, you are useless to me. And I say it with a straight face. I know you might think I was going to laugh there, but if I have a survival group and you come to my door and you go, hey, I want to be a part of your survival group, I'm going to go, what kind of skills? I'm not going to say, what do you own? I'm going to say, what kind of skills do you have? I mean, I guess what you own is important, but after we get what you own, then we'll kill you. No, then we don't need you. We got what we want. So skills, what kind of skills do you have? So skills are king. If you don't have skills, you're useless to me. So skills are key. So we've got to work on our skills. So let's see what kind of skills we're going to work on this time. Oh, a family communication plan. You're like, wait a second, that's not a skill. Oh, yes, it is. Contrary. Because when you put the family communication plan together, you have to think through so many things. Like, where's Aunt Sally? I mean, how are we going to get in touch with Grandma? What are we going to do when our house is on fire? And you put all this stuff together, boom, on a piece of paper. The skills and the thinking and the process you go through to think that is huge, because when you create the plan and the crap hits the fan, you got the plan up here because you created it, which gives you a skill of know what to think through and know what to go, okay, I don't need to go in the house because my house is burning down and get photos because I got them on my thumb drive. We got all the important documents on my thumb drive. What do we need to do? Maybe I need to go around and turn off the gas. And you think through all this stuff, and you're more prepared. So it is a skill just putting this together, or you gain skills. Okay, we'll say it like that. Now, I do have a webinar coming up on putting this together. It's a 8-night webinar, and I walk you through with the documents and everything. That's going to be later on, because that is one of my paid classes. So that's going to probably push off for a little bit, because I don't feel comfortable charging for doing that right now. Okay, next is learn how to set up a shelter. Now, this is wide open. I can't post. Oh, he can't post. Okay. Set up a shelter. So Dave Stutz of Wolffire just texted me. He does the Care and Conceal. We've taught many survival classes together. So some of the classes that we've taught how to build an A-frame debris shelter. And it's easy. You take a stick from a tree, tie it down to the ground, put a bunch of branches, fill it with leaves and pine straw and stuff, and you can lay in there and sleep. But there's also, you can build shelters from, so that's just a debris in the woods. You find a shelter from tarps, from ponchos. So that's kind of in the wilderness, but you can also find rock overhangs underneath thick pine trees. But then there's also shelters you can make in a junkyard or a garbage dump or in a warehouse. Let's say it's an abandoned warehouse, crap hits the fan, you need to shelter your family. You need to hide in a warehouse so if other people came in, they can't see you, kind of thing. So you've got to start thinking through this. And I'm telling you, reading these books that I'm putting down to read, you'll go, wow, I never thought about that. Or, oh, wow, they're under the steps. Why would they be under the steps? And they put boxes up to hide them. And you start and you learn things. And so learning how to set up a shelter and tying knots and your tarp and all these different things, huge skill. And the reason why you want this skill to be second nature is because you're hauling through the woods or through an industrial park, and all of a sudden it gets dark and you've got 10 minutes to set up your shelter, or it's going to be total dark. You don't want to be around with your flashlights and other people seeing you. So you could get in some predicaments if you don't know how to do it properly and quickly. So it needs to become second nature. So take your family out, go build some tent. And this setting up a shelter is not a tent. I'm sorry. It's not a tent. Nah. It can be, but come on. No. You gotta take it past that. Okay. Next, actually, your car could be a shelter. Anyway, NRA handgun class. Now, someone's calling me during my class. NRA handgun class. Dave is in the house. He teaches this. A lot of people teach this around the United States. It's so you got your carry and conceal. Whoopee doo. Many people graduate from that class with no skills. I'm telling you, there's a test at the end. Most instructors give the people the answers, and then you go to a range, and if you hit a target, you pass. That you don't need skills for that at all. What you need skills in how to take the handgun apart, how to clean it, how to properly take care of it, how to properly hold it. This handgun class goes through all that. And you need to go through an NRA, National Rifle Association handgun class. They're all over the United States. If you're around the Charlotte area, Dave Wolf's your man. And there could be some other people around that do it. I actually had to renew mine, and long story, when you move and the 2 months don't, it's a long story. But anyway, handgun class. Okay. And you learn that's different than your carry and conceal class. I just want you to know this one is a lot more you learn in this class. The carry and conceal class is mostly for law and a little bit of gun safety. This is more about the gun, shooting technique, that kind of stuff. So you got to have that. Next is you got to make char cloth. So char cloth is cloth that has been burnt, but not completely. It's been charred. So you got to learn how to make this, because you ever see people when they have flint and steel, or they have, even when it comes to, a bow drill, or char cloth burns like crazy, not at a fast rate, but it's easy to be to turn into. It's easy to have an ember, start an ember, and then you can make a fire from that. And it's very easy to make. And how I do it is I take my kids' jeans, blue jeans. It makes great char cloth. And I'll cut pieces about, I use an Altoid can. I cut pieces about, we'll say, 2 inches by 3 inches, whatever fits in an Altoid can. So I'll cut and make it layer after layer after layer in there. I don't stack it so much that the lid won't fall, shut. But then I'll put it in there. But before I do that, I'll take a knife, my honey knife or something, and I'll punch some holes in the top and the bottom. Just slit. I won't make them holes. I'll just put little slices in there, maybe 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. Put my jeans in there and throw it in the fire. I put it on the fire. What happens is the fire gets inside of it, starts to burn it, chars it. Doesn't have a lot of oxygen in there, so it can't just on fire. And then you let it cool, and it makes this cool cloth that has been burnt before, which is now easy to light. And you need to learn how to make that. That stuff could save your life. And it's easy to make. And it's just, once you understand the concept of ember to flame, I know there's all kind of technical words. Once you understand that concept, you'll be able to make fire out of many different things. So make char cloth. How do you learn how to make char cloth? YouTube. Just search. There'll be 45 to 100 people showing you how to make it. So, okay, next. Use the dehydrator. We bought it. Now we're going to use it. So you go and get your strawberries and you slice them up. You wash it, slice them up, put them on there. Bananas. I love banana chips. Slice them up, put them in there. Marshmallows, the mini ones. Don't slice them. Just put them in there. And you put different things in there. You tomatoes. I mean herbs. and you learn how to use this, and all of a sudden this little machine, this factory is making long-term food storage for you. And you got to learn how to do that. And you know what? It's good stuff. If you've ever had apple chips made from a dehydrator, whoo, they're good. All kinds of things you can dehydrate. So anyway, use the dehydrator. Go on YouTube and go, what kind of things are people dehydrating? And then you go, hey, I have that. I'm going to do that. And then boom, you do it. Okay, next is we're going to store your rice and beans. So kind of went over this a little bit, but you can get the 5-gallon bucket. You're going to take the rice and pour it in the you're going to put your Mylar bag in the 5-gallon bucket. You can pour your rice in. You can throw your oxygen absorbers in. You're going to seal the top. You're going to fold the top down. You're going to mark the bag. You're going to actually mark the bag. Rice, April 9th. Then you're going to fold the lid down. You're going to put a lid on it. Then you're going to mark the outside. Now you can do it in code. I don't suggest code because I have one guy that does it in code. And I'm like, dude, if I come and find your food, I'm going to open every one of them up to see what's in there. But if it says rice, I'm like, oh, I don't want rice. I want this that says bacon. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm sure it is. Freeze-dried bacon. I want that one. And I'm going to grab that one. But if not, I'm going to destroy them all to make sure I get what I want. But right on the outside, rice, April 9th, 2020. Boom. In a cool, dry location, boom, you're good over 25 years. You do that with the rice and the beans as well. Now, we'll buy some more stuff to add on to this later on, but rice and beans. I would recommend maybe going to get some salt and pepper too. Rice and beans by themselves, get all kinds of spices. Like I like the McCormick's hamburger. Yeah, the hamburger. Ooh, that goes well with anything. Or the all. Is it the all? Not all in all. The everything or something. Yeah, that's pretty good too. Anyway, sorry. Next is make one good prepper friend. I think we've already covered that, but there is a skill to be having a friend as a prepper. You got to one, initiate it, and two, you've got to want to be his friend. I'm not sure why I have that right here, but I do. So go do that. Go make a prepper friend. Even if it's, you just got to go out and meet other people. That's what PrepperNet's about too. It gives you the opportunity to go meet other people. Dude, we are flying on time. Let me check the chat room. Everyone's still alive. They're talking about seasoning and okay, I use my dehydrator for jackfruit. Yeah. So okay, someone's selling their carrying conceal. We don't know you, but that's fine. It's not really but Robert's in there. Okay, next, let's see where we go next. I don't know if there's any more here. Oh, there is one. Yes. Ooh, medical drugs workarounds. So if you're taking some medicine, any type of medical drug right now, any type of medical drugs that let's say that you're on a diabetes medicine, heart medicine, high blood pressure medicine, whatever drug you have, you need to find alternatives. And you need to find someone like we have in our group, in the Charlotte group. Her name is Elemental. And she knows all the different drugs and things that you can take. I told her I was on this or this or this, and she could tell me, oh, you need this for this, this for this, and this for this. So you need to learn what they are, because one day you might not have access to the drugs that you need. We all already know that fish antibiotics work the same as human antibiotics. We kind of know that. Well, maybe you don't know that yet because you're new, but yes, we'll get into that later. But you need, there's some kind of like root that is good for blood pressure. There's it's a ton of different things. I would recommend that you stay with natural products, meaning things that you can make yourself, because we have every second person in PrepperNet is an essential oil distributor. I'm just kidding. But you need products that you can make when you run out of everything, including essential oil. So you need to come up with some different ways that you can do that, or buy in bulk for a drug that you have issues with, just plain and simple. So and you got time now to research it and figure out what things you need, so you can do that. I cannot remember but I know for like if you drink some poison or something, or have an upset stomach, I think charcoal or something, or just all. But anyway, there's different things that natural things can heal and help you. And let's see how many people are yelling at me about the essential oils. CBD oil. No, that again, you know what? I'm not against it at all. I am not. But so far, in all the advertisements I've seen, it can cure everything that has ever happened on this earth. And I know that's not true. I just know that's not true. But everything that any health problems that you have, someone has claimed that can help you, which means that is an alert to me. Boom, boom. It does work on a few things. I know it does. It has to, but it doesn't work on everything. So that means the community and the has not figured out yet exactly what they need to market that for. That's an issue. I don't have any issues where I need it. I do have friends that take it. They swear by it. And even one gives it to their kid, swears by it. But it is not a developed thing that you need to take with you, because you're not going to make your own when you have no electricity. So you're going to buy tons of it. Sure, fine, whatever. But yeah, I'm not a big person on a lot of these different things that people are absolutely in love with. I'm not. I'll go back to natural. I don't do a lot of new medicine. I'll go back to the old days where Elemental tells me, take this. That worked for 2,000 years. It will work now. So anyway, sorry, I don't mean to step on people's toes. And I know you guys live and make a living on this stuff. I'm just saying that if the grid goes down, you better have that stuff in stockpiles, or it's going to become like other stuff, like electricity. It's going to be a thing of the past. So let's see if there's anything else on training. So training is to help you with skills and knowledge. And I think we covered a lot of that right there. Okay. Because making char cloth is a skill. It's easy, but then it gives you knowledge on making it and then using it that no one can ever take from you. So let's go to the next. The next is mindset. So okay, there's some good mindset ones here. Mindset. So mindset helps us with how to think through some things and be ready for situations that maybe you've never. Whoa, what did I just do? Okay. Have never experienced before. And so, see, I'm looking in the chat room, turmeric, all the stuff that people, that you better make it now. Okay. Okay, mindset. The first thing in the mindset to help you better think through things and have a better handle on things when the crap hits the fan is read. Okay, we read the first 2 books. We read the 1 Second After, the next day, and now it's the final day. That's Wim Fortune's book series. Great book series. You better read them. They're awesome. And he's actually come to our Charlotte group and spoke. And we had a ton of people there at the restaurant. It was just, it was standing room only. But Wim Fortune, read that. That helps you as you read that series. You look at a community of the college I went to a long time ago and how they handled getting along, working together, and decisions when it comes to what the mayor can do, what he can't do, what people can do, what's happening. It makes you think, wow, this stuff could happen. What would I do? So anyway, let's go to the next. Listen to Prepper Recon. This is a podcast. Now, he hasn't done this podcast in over a year. Well, he's done a couple, but you want to go old school Prepper Recon, like start in the beginning, because he had some really good information there. And you can blow through these things, just as you're working in the garden or you're driving or something. Just listen to some old school things. And again, he hasn't produced anything really, just a couple podcasts in the last few months. So, but listen to a lot of his old school stuff. Okay. I've listened to every one of them. So listen to them again, as he talks and interviews people, you learn things, and you're like, wow, I never thought of that. And so that one information could save your life one day. It's called American Blackout by National Geographic. There's actually two American Blackouts. National Geographic did one, if I remember. Also, Fox News did one, but it was more like of a 50-minute show. But they're both excellent. Watch both of them. American Blackout. And it can kind of go through a why and how a blackout really can happen in America. We're not immune to it. It could definitely happen in America. And a lot of people spend a lot of money preparing for that one thing, that the power grid going down. Now, just to blow your mind a little bit, in the EMP commission that was put together by the U.S. government, big names were on there, like Rubio. Senator Rubio was a part of that, and other senators, and some of the masterminds in all the world when it comes to EMP and a CME. They state in this report that if the power grid goes down for a period of time of a few months, 3-4 months, then 90% of the population of the United States will die. I didn't say that. That's what the report said. Your government, your senator said that the power grid goes down, 90% of Americans would die. That's pretty concerning. That's wow. So you want to research what they're talking about. Why are they saying that? Are they a bunch of liars? Or how do they come up with that? So watch American Blackout, and I think Fox News and National Geographic, I think both do one. Watch both of them. You got time. You got time. And you got the beer probably as well. So next is Scott Hunt. Now, Scott Hunt is an engineer, good friend of mine. Love Scott Hunt. He does some old videos on engineering things. And just watch him. He's good. You'll learn. And then he has a book. Excuse me. Right here. Knew I have it. It's called Practical Preppers. I don't know if you guys know, but Scott Hunt was one of the judges on Doomsday Preppers. Don't hold that against him. It didn't go the way that they thought it was going to go. Then they kind of was stuck with it. But Scott goes through a lot of things in here that you can buy and do. I just saw putting food in buckets somewhere. I thought I did. But anyway, he goes through a lot of different stuff in this book, like basic prepping stuff. And it's a good book. Scott is a good guy. So the next is probably one of the most important things you can do. Oh, no, not yet. Mark Goodwin has a book series called The Days of Noah. I love that. He has mini series. I like all his books. He does have a religious slant to it. Maybe that's why I like it. But I like his writing style. I like his books. And if you read every Mark Goodwin book, that will take you months, because he's written at least 25. But The Days of Noah is one of my favorite. I waited till the entire series was finished, and then I listened to the entire series. I can't stand that. I wait till a series is finished before I read it, because then I just overindulge in it. So anyway, Mark Goodwin. Now this next one, and I can't believe I actually have this in my book, but I'm like, oh, okay. The next one's read my book. Ooh, that's going to take you. Gosh, my wife can read. She could probably read this book in 30 minutes. I don't know. It's gosh, I am sorry. It's less than, well, it has my profile on the back of the photo, but if you don't count that page, it's like 60 pages. And the typeset font is like 42. No, it's not. I don't know. But read my book. You got time. Okay. And the next one, oh, that's it. Okay. So that is mindset. So some of these things, Mark Goodwin talks a lot about mindset in his early days. You get to understand the CME and why it's, and the EMP, why it's so scary. Scott talks about a lot of practical things in his early video. All his videos are good, but he gets kind of nerdy because he's like a technical engineering genius. And so when he makes a stove, he puts in the back of a truck that burns wood. It's called a gasifier. That's it. That runs his truck and he drives from burning wood, no gasoline. So he is kind of a engineering nerd marvel. He's an engineering marvel. He is. Scott Hunt's books, and his book as well is kind of a basic kind of prepper thing. He goes through a lot of the engineering things he's done, like moving water. He's big in water and solar and things like that. And so that's the mindset. So the most important, though, there has to be my book. No, it's not, but you should read it. Okay, next is this. So the next is survival groups. So I got two actions. One is to talk to your family members about being in a survival group and what that would mean for the family. And if you don't know, then I'm going to have another webinar. That's what's going to happen. And it's going to be not this Sunday night, but next Sunday night, I'm going to do one on survival groups. Now, a lot of you guys have probably seen this. I am going to kind of tailor it towards people coming out of this pandemic because that's a good kickstart for a survival group. I kid you not. I've had tons of people. That's a lot of people. Well, actually, no. Tell me they need a survival group, and this has kind of rattled them a little bit, and they need a survival group, and they won't help me helping them put together a survival group because I am the survival group guy. At least I try to be, and I think it's important. I've been in one for 20 years myself. So on Sunday night, April 19th, my Sunday night live that I do with Preparedness, I thought, wow, let's just do a survival group one. It's going to be a lot of it's going to be the same. If you've seen this, you can just come along and listen. But it's going to be, I'm going to tailor it to people coming out of the pandemic. We got a lot of newbies that are now coming into this and how to put them together, how to start a survival group, how to find one, how to run one, all that kind of stuff. And that's going to be Sunday, April 19th at 8 p.m. And it will be streamed right to my YouTube channel. And I may even get a guest appearance on that. I think what I'll do is I'll do this on the 19th. And then the following week, I'm going to bring in, there's 3 experts in survival groups in the United States. 3. I can only think of 3. And if there's another one out there, I don't know them. And I'm not saying but there's 3. It's Charlie Hogwood. He wrote the book called Survival Groups or Mag Groups. And it's Jonathan Hollerman. He's on the West Coast. And these 2 guys are the capital THE experts, period. I don't care who you talk to. There's no one that does more consulting that does more for the prepper and preparedness community than these two guys. And I'm trying to be in that same league because I do a lot of consulting. I consulted, I had 3 consulting consultations this week. Where one was, this week. So I consult with a lot of groups. I put a lot of groups together. I help with retreats. And so maybe I'll get all 3 of us and we'll take people's questions and we'll talk about survival groups because we do have a little different spin on it. And right there would be the 3 top people and myself. But anyway, I'll throw myself in there. Why not? And we, and then maybe we'll take your questions. If I can't get Jonathan, he's a little bit busier, but I know I can get Charlie's easy. I hope. So, and then we're also going to bring back probably after that. So we're going to be off this Sunday night. The next Sunday night will be survival groups. The next Sunday night will be Charlie Hogwood. Then I'm going to bring back at some point Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy, and we're going to talk about, okay, the pandemic is, calming down. What's next? From Amy thinks she actually thinks she had it. It's interesting. Her and her husband both. But because that's kind of why they were kind of offline for a while. But I talked to her this week and they're doing great now. So anyway, let's see what else is next. So join me on that. That'll be your homework there. Next, okay, to download this workbook, you go to preppernet.com/plan1. That page has all you're probably getting this. Has all the 3 different classes. And the way I did the workbook, you can put them right together and they kind of work together in there. If you print them off, if they're printable, if you want to print them. And then I also have the bug out bag list. And someone asked me, so I did that in conjunction with this lady that did this bug out list thing. And she put non-mint gum. And I don't know why. I had 3 or 4 people ask me, why non-mint? I don't know. But I sent an email to her today and I'm like, why did you put non-mint gum? So I don't know. But that's how you download the workbook right there at Preppernet. And so preppernet.com/plan1. Okay, the next class is April 4th. Nope, said that wrong. Little dyslexia there. Class 4 is April 16th. And it will be class number 4. And we're going to start getting in some good stuff. So like mind control, ESP, control. No, I'm kidding. But April 16th, it will be class 4. It'll be back here on the YouTube channel. Let's see what else is next. Okay, and this Sunday night, nope, we're not going to have it this Sunday night. It's the Lord's Day, and we're not going to have it. So with all this said, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to look in the chat room and see if there's any questions or comments or anything in there. See if has anybody been kicked out. And getting people to sign up for survival group isn't hard. Getting them to show up for meetings and training is very hard. Yep. So there's a difference between people in highly interested and highly motivated. And you've got to find the ones that are highly motivated. The highly interested are absolutely useless. So let's see. I'm going to just go through some of the comments here. How to convince your family. How to convince your family that being prepared is important. Chris, I am going to cover that. But if your family doesn't think that's important, you should have not bought any toilet paper. Matter of fact, take the extra toilet paper you have in your house and hide it. And also, even if it's your mom and dad's house, if it's your immediate family, go get all the toilet paper and hide it right now, tonight. And if they ask where it is, just act stupid. Okay. And then that could prove that could prove a point of why. When is the revelation class? Well, you know what? I decided to postpone that just a little bit because I am a preacher of the gospel, and I did not feel comfortable doing it right now. And so I'm going to do that after this 7-week class. Wanted things to cool down. I didn't want to. That's just how I felt. Charlie Hogwood, someone, okay. Yeah, Hogwood, yeah, okay. Make sure we got everything here. Going backwards in time. Anyone here from Nashville? We have a ton of people from Nashville in our Nashville group. A ton. We have a Nashville PrepperNet group, and it is a great group in Nashville. Days of Noah are really okay. Talking about the book, yep. Lights Out, yeah, that's a good book as well. If it's the one, okay, there's there's 2 Lights Out. One is by Ted Koppel. Don't read that. You can, but there's a lot of facts and like statistics in that one. I don't know, but then there's another Lights Out that's pretty good as well. I think it's internet only though. It's like a PDF book. But yeah, that was Robert to put that. But I didn't like Ted Koppel's book because there's a lot of statistics and facts in there. It kind of drove me nuts. Fortune Books on Amazon. Okay. Joe. Okay, I think that's far enough back. Let's see if there's any. Okay. It says no one answered the phone or email or Facebook. What's up from the, okay, I can tell you this, Martin, every email that comes to PrepperNet is answered, period. We have a software that I can see if an email is not answered. So that is an incorrect statement. The phone is voicemail only, and I'm a busy guy right now. I've got a company that is absolutely slammed and doing these things. So I apologize for if I haven't called you back yet. Let's see. I might even have I do have your number right here. And I'll prove it to you because your area code is 812. So I do have you on my list to call. I just hadn't had time, and I do apologize. You can hire me, and I will definitely be on that call. Let's see. Survival schools in the area. Dave Wolf was in here. He probably teaches. I don't teach survival school anymore because it just takes up too much of my time. But Dave Wolf, I guarantee you, if you guys want to do a survival school, or there's some guys up in the mountains too that are really good. Not that Dave's not, but let's see here. Gary, I'm in North Carolina. I'm just reading questions, guys, and we'll end this. No one stays around to the end anyway, right? I want to make sure if you got any questions or something hadn't been covered. Prepper meeting. The huge member of the group in Waynesville and Wayne, New Jersey. Yeah, it's been inactive. Hey, JG, maybe we can help that group. I'm not. That's what we try to do is revive groups that are falling down. David Crawford's Lights Out. That's right. That's the book. David Crawford Lights Out is another. Ted Koppel's is just a lot of facts and figures and things. And anyway, let's see what else. My family's from North Carolina. Okay, Elizabeth. Facebook. Okay, yes, Elizabeth. Looking forward to. Hey guys, my friend that teaches survival classes and all kinds of different gun classes. His company is called Wolf Fire Firearms and Survival. and we've taught many classes together. But his number, I'll type it in here. I think I can type it in. It's 704. He is allowing me to type this in, 383, and then I'll tell you a quick story. Let me type it in. It won't even let me. Oh, yeah, let me type it in. Yeah. And his name is Wolffire. So let me tell you, my entire family and extended family wanted to learn, wanted to get their carry and conceal, and I didn't feel comfortable teaching them. So I got Dave to come to my house, and you can get him to do this to your family. And he taught everyone. This is my wife, my son, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, and then Kyle on my host wanted to get his renew his carry. And so we all did this in my house. Then we went out and shot, and so he can do that for you guys as well. So, and the reason I'm giving him props is because we help each other. He taught my second class in Preparedness years ago on bug out bags. So my second, and then Elemental taught my third one. So okay, guys, we are finished. Hey, if you call, I am sorry. I've been really slammed. I was on the phone today with banks, accountants, for some of this employee payroll stuff and getting that straight, and I haven't had time. I'm sorry. And if you send an email, every email is answered, because I can tell if my people aren't helping me and they're not replying to the emails. I don't reply to them all. I have 2 other people that help me, and they're not paid either. Well, one of them I actually pay. She's my assistant. So anyway, my virtual assistant. Guys, thank you. We will not be here Sunday night. Next Thursday night, we will be here, same channel. And tell your family and friends, and you guys have a wonderful night, and God bless.